for Alton's grieving children. For the 4-year-old.
So this poll, which we're calling a GenForward poll, is a partnership between the Black Youth Project at the University of Chicago and the AP NORC Center for Public Affairs Research. And it's sort of a first of its kind in that it's specifically intended not only to reach young people generally, but to reach, in particular, young people of color.
And the people who work to make it happen here.
Yeah, so this poll finds essentially that Clinton is still struggling to pick up the support of young people, and even young people of color. Of course, we know that African Americans and to a fairly large extent Hispanics were big supporters of Clinton in the primary, but this poll actually finds that young African Americans and Hispanics mostly supported Bernie Sanders in the primary, and that Clinton's having a tough time picking up Sanders supporters as her own. Only about half of them say that they're ready to say that they're going to support her in the general election, where about a quarter say that they're not going to support her, and about a quarter say that they're not decided yet about whether they'll support her or not, which potentially shows that she's going to have a hard time turning out those people who showed up in the primaries to support Bernie Sanders.
And his lifetime of selfishness in a position to destroy our lives. And
yeah, so we asked young people to tell us what were the top issues that might decide their support for political candidates this year. And we found that a couple emerged on top for most young people, including education, which was the top issue across the board, and economic growth, which was also a top issue for most young people. But the poll found a significant amount of variation across racial and ethnic lines in some of the other issues facing the country. So, for example, for young African Americans, racism is about tied with education as the top issue facing the country. And at the same time, police brutality is about tied with economic growth as another top issue facing the country. And this poll was conducted before events of the past week or so, the police shootings of black men in Minnesota and Louisiana, and of course the shooting in Dallas as well. And so this poll really shows that even before those events, these issues were at the top of the minds of young blacks.